Well, this is today's project. I'm not sure how far we'll get. This is a very complicated piece. It's the governor bracket, which forms part of the governor, which in total this is the complete assembly. There's no way we're going to get anywhere near that today, but over the next few episodes that's what we'll be producing. It's got a couple of mitre gears with a shaft coming in from the back. This is a chain driven shaft which drives the governor. So today what I'm going to do is try and get the governor bracket completed, and then in future episodes we've got all of these other parts to make relative to the governor bracket. So over to the mill and let's get started. Alright, what I've done is scribed a little line here and here. That little line is square to this part of the casting, which is about all I can go on really before I get a registration surface. But once I've got the registration surface, then everything else will be true to that. So I'll just get this set up in the vise and we'll just mill that off to dimension. Lines up pretty well with the casting. You sort of wink through from the square. This is now square to this part on the casting. That's about all I can do as a starter, so everything will be true from that. That's the obviously the correct orientation for it. So we'll work from there. Right, I've got this set up. I've got a piece of scrap aluminium in the back, piece of scrap aluminium in the front, and I've got a parallel on the bottom of the vise. I've got another one here which squares the reference surface that I created there. I need to mill this end, so what I'm going to do is set the cutter, the edge of the cutter, onto this edge here, and then measure out the dimension to mill this down to. That dimension will be on the DRO. So I'll just get that set up, get the cutter over here, and then I'll be back. Right, I've got the cutter on the edge here. I need to go 1938 and mill that down to 1938 from there to give us that overall dimension. Then I'll have two nice parallel surfaces there. Okay, 1938. Right. So the height now is 1938 to there. What I've got to do now is to somehow set it up so I can cut this center portion of the casting out there, because the rod actually comes all the way down here, and then the mitre gears go in here. Alright, there's the setup. I've got it laid flat on a couple of parallels, bit of sacrificial aluminium underneath. I've got this little setup in this end just to keep the vise parallel. I haven't tightened down too tight, but I've tightened it tight enough to hold it, because what happens is, as I mill out the centre, then it's only going to have two thin strips down there, and it'll have a tendency to either bow out that way or bow up that way. So I've got to just keep an eye on that. What I'm going to do first is drill out the centre as much as possible, and then I'll go in and clean it up with a router bit. Well, that's come out pretty good. Let's get it out of there and have a look at it. It's got a little bit of cleaning up to do on the back, but I'm pretty happy with that, how that's worked out. I'll just get this cleaned up. Right, I did go back in with a smaller cutter just to get into the corners and also flatten these two edges off. Right, I'm going to centre it off the edge of the vice jaws. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to centre it the other way, but I'll work that out in a minute. Let's do one stage at a time. Right, centering it off the edge of this casting just isn't going to work, because there's nothing centre about the edge of that casting. Fortunately, this measurement here is the same as the internal dimension there, so I have a plan. If you know how to do this better than this, then let me know in the comments. Alright, we've got 1040, so that's going to be 520, 519, near enough. So I'm going to do, scribe a line down there, just go the other way. Yep, that's good. And then, here's me glue that up. So I'm going to line this up by eye. So what I've done, transferred that line across there. I know that's not precision engineering, but it's going to be okay for what I've got to do here. So, like I said before, if there's a better way, then let me know in the comments, which I'm sure there is a better way, I just don't know it. Right, get it back in the vise. So I've set it up by eye using the centre of the centre drill, which is about the only way I can think of doing it, and it certainly looks on par with the centre line of the casting. Not that that really means anything, it looks a little bit off on the top here, but it runs centre with the centre cutout, if you like. So I'm going to go with that. Right, this is what I've used. It's a little small collet for a drill, and it just gave me enough length on the drill to get all the way through. I don't know what it's called, it's just a drill collet, not very precision, I don't know, but I had it from when I used to build aeroplanes, so I can't remember what it's called. That's actually worked out pretty well. Perfect. Right, that's the rod that the gears go on. There's some mitre gears go on there, and the governor sits up the top here. So now I'm going to work on this piece, get this piece milled down to size, and get the hole drilled through there. Right, I'm going to nibble a slot in the top using a 1.5mm cutter. I was going to use a slitting saw, but I haven't got a 1.5mm slitting saw, so this is all I've got really. So let's give it a go. Alright, that's worked out well, pretty well under the circumstances. I've now got to drill a hole in there and tap for a 10B, yeah, drill a hole and tap for a 10BA. Right, just going to tap out now for a 10BA. Perfect. Right, that's that side tapped for a 10BA. This side I'll just drill out a clearance hole. Right, I drilled that on the pillar drill. So we've got 10 BA on that side, clearance hole this side. Looking good so far. Just going to round this off now. There you go. It's not the best round in the world, but just a hand filed, and it will sit like that with the rod going through the centre. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and the subscribe and the notification bell. Leave a comment or a question. I do read all of the comments and answer as many as I can. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.